I'm talking with Liron Barak, who is co-founder and CEO of Bitdam. Welcome, Liron.
Hi, Richard.
So tell us I think Bitdam's a fascinating story. You're addressing probably the most critical security function anybody can have, and that is how to protect your end users from just all sorts of attacks delivered through social media as well and communication systems as well as email.
Right.
So tell me what inspired you to start Bitdam.
I guess the main thing, from my past was I'm actually coming from a very technical background. I had my bachelor degree in computer science while I was in high school, and afterwards I joined the army to one of the elite Israeli intelligence units, and served there for about 7 years. Actually, on the other side of the fence, like the offensive side of the fence. I was a captain, a commander. I led a group of about 20 people. All of us actually dealt with research and development on the other side of the fence. And also I met there my partner, our CTO. And I think that, this kind of background actually led us, to do what we're doing today. The fact that we really, we're familiar with the other side of the fence, but also with most of the solutions in the market due to that, gave us the idea and the different approach that actually leading the Bitdam solution today.
So that makes sense. It takes an attacker to design a good defense. Um, so tell us how Bitdam works and how it compares to the solutions that have been out there for dozens of years.
So first of all, I would say that what we're doing in Bitdam, just a kind of intro, is to protect against malicious files and links that are being sent through the different collaboration channels. Of course, as you said, we're talking about email, which is still the dominant channel today, the main channel, but also other channels like shared drives, Dropbox, Box, OneDrive, Google Drive, and also instant messaging platforms. And it's pretty well known to us that even recently people while working from home are using instant messaging platforms massively. I'm talking, of course, about Zoom, about Teams, and others, and we are protecting those channels as well. So basically, we are connecting with the different channels, platforms that the organization is using in order to communicate, and actually scanning all the files and links that are being sent through those platforms before they are reaching the end user environment, before they reach, my mailbox as a user in the organization, or my Dropbox, or my Zoom account, okay? And we actually use for that a very unique mechanism of scanning in our cloud for each file and link in order to ensure that all the threats, including known and unknown threats, will not be missed by our solution, and the organization will stay protected.
And what's the end user experience like? Do they get something saying you've got an email coming in, but we're inspecting it?
So usually, because we are doing the scanning very fast, we're talking about a few seconds, less than 7 seconds for each scan. So most of the users they cannot feel that actually. So the admin, like the security team that is managing the platform and have the access to the dashboard and to the logs, they will get the alerts about the malicious files and links that we're actually detecting. The user will just not get the email and not have the opportunity to open the file and link and actually he will not be exposed to the attack itself.
And what's the secret sauce? Because an antivirus company that would offer a defense that they say does this would have thousands of people writing signatures.
Right. So there are tons of solutions in the market for email and also for other channels. The thing is that if we will take a deeper look at that, we will realize that all the solutions out there, and I'm really talking about all the solutions, are using kind of data-driven approach. What do I mean by that? You talked about signatures, but there are other approaches as well, like the approach of a sandbox, for example. All those solutions are based on the knowledge that they have about the threats. whether it's, again, a signature, which is the exact knowledge about the exact threat, but also other, mechanisms that are able to learn the behaviors of the threats, other patterns that repeat themselves, that's related to known threats. But the thing is that when, they see a new threat, unknown threat, that doesn't act as expected, or doesn't look like a threat that those solutions already saw in the past. So this threat will be missed by the data-driven solution that we have in the market today. And this is exactly what we're coming to solve. So basically, because we are not basing our solution about the knowledge that we have about the threats, so this is why we are not sensitive to changes on the attack side of the fence, but we have to base our solution on something. So what is that? This is actually the applications. Like, we all get files and links that might be malicious. We open them in applications like Word and Excel and Adobe Reader and Safari and Chrome and others. And those applications should act as intended by the vendors that are providing them, by Adobe, by Google, by Microsoft, etc. So there are groups of developers that actually wrote the code for those applications. And this is the only code that should be running on the machine while we open a file, for example, a doc file in Microsoft Word application, right? So what we were doing at Bitdam, we developed an engine that is capable of learning any application and map all the possible ways in terms of execution path that this application should run accordingly. And once we have this knowledge base, we are able to actually detect any deviation from the normal behavior of the application. So imagine that Bitdam is getting to the service a file, okay? Opening the file, for example, PDF in Adobe Reader application, extract the way the application runs in the CPU, and then we're able to compare this to the legitimate behavior of the application and detect any alien code that is running there in the background.
And what kind of customer experience have you seen already? What are they telling you about the results they're having?
Sure. So as you probably know, we have customers from different verticals, from health to finance to government. For example, the city of Las Vegas is a public reference customers of ours. And what is actually mutual to all of those, that they already had a security solution in place, as you can guess, something at least to protect their email from Office 365 ATP, Proofpoint. Like, those are the leading solutions in our customer in our user base. And they actually deployed Bitdam, as I said before, easily. And Bitdam is usually located as last line of defense, getting all the traffic that the organization is getting, following the secure ML gateway solution that is in place. It means that everything that Bitdam is detecting, those are stuff that actually bypass the secure ML gateway that they have in place. Usually during those POCs or trials during this period of time, like 1 month, every customer that we had any interaction with was actually able to see the value that Bitdam is able to bring to the table. And I'm talking about extra detections, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we're able to detect dozens of attacks in 1 month that are bypassing the leading solutions in the market. So this is, what we felt and what customers are feeling from working with Bitdam. Luckily, we already have about 200,000 users that are using our service. And this is why we were able to perform a kind of study recently. In the last 6 months, we actually took threats that Bitdam was detected in the wild from our customer base, but also from feeds, and actually sent those threats to a dedicated test email account mailbox within those organizations that were protecting, already protecting them. And we were able to measure, what is the exact exposure to threats when they already have an email security solution in place, like Proofpoint, like Office 365 ATP, G Suite for Enterprise, and others. And you can see all the full, the full study on our website and all the results there, but just, in a nutshell. The results were that those leading ATP solutions are actually missing between 30 to 40% of the unknown threats every day. And it actually takes them, a few days to catch up and be able to detect those threats and mark them as malicious. And in the situation these days when attackers are massively using automation and are able to create hundreds of new attack variations a day easily. To be able to detect a new threat or an unknown threat after a few days, it's actually not relevant anymore.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so a new way that is better, faster. How does a customer deploy it?
So this is a great question because I guess that you heard it in the past. It's very easy and very fast, but we are really talking about like 1 minute of deployment because we are for Microsoft users who are part of the Microsoft like the Office 365 marketplace. So it's just a click of a button, but also for G Suite customers and a Box or Dropbox, it looks actually the same. We have a dashboard that you can choose and add any integration that you would like. For example, today I can use Office 365 and Box, but tomorrow I can remove my Box and add the protection for OneDrive and Teams. So you can, as an admin of the system, you can control everything. You can choose your configurations and policies. Again, choose and add any integration that you would like and remove them easily. And this is how it looks like because and I'm reminding you, we are basing those integrations on the APIs of the different collaboration channels. This is why it's very easy.
So, and what about scale? So, obviously, a single customer could have 100,000
Sure.
users using Office 365, and then all of the users are numbered in the hundreds of millions. Could you do it
Sure.
all?
Sure. So first of all, we have a few services around the world, basically in Europe and US. Each service is capable of dealing with scaling and scale out automatically. We are able to actually support millions of users in every single instance. So for us, it's practically transparent and also for the users themselves.
And what are the next steps, I guess, for you as a company and you as the CEO? What are the challenges that you're facing and looking forward to overcoming?
So I would say that I will, look at that from two angles. First of all, we are always, according to our customer demand, expanding the support. Okay, the protection in different collaboration channels. So there are, some conversations around adding Salesforce, for example, or Slack, or other channels that organizations are using today in sharing files and links. So this is something that we work on, like expanding the set of collaboration channels that we're protecting against. And also, expanding the business side of the company. Today, we are working with partners, resellers, distributors, as well as selling directly. And we're investing a lot on building, which we already have one, our partners' infrastructure. And we get actually great feedbacks on that. But I have to tell you and share with you that we're actually investing a lot of efforts in that, again, in order to scale the business in the company.
Great system you developed and great report because it is all about catch rate, right?
Right,
And
right.
all right, very good. Got it. Thank you very much. Liron Barak, CEO and co-founder of Bitdam.